Hey, welcome to the second course video for the song I Miss the Days by NF from his album The Search. I'm musically malnourished, and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. In these videos, we do a deep dive into the lyrics and meaning behind the music. So let's get in, see what this song's all about. All right. In I Miss the Days, NF reminisces his childhood and exposes many parts of himself that he has never talked about in his music. He talks about the days when he was truly happy and free from the high expectations and horrible criticism of others. He also questions when and how that happiness changed into what we know so well from songs like How Could You Leave Us and Let You Down. Here's a little story. Midnight Donuts Zine spoke with Travis Cottrell about this song and change. It says, one of my best friends is Tommy Profit, who is NF's producer and co-writer. Tommy called in like, okay, we saw this in an earlier one, that they came in and sang and did a few things for NF while they were working on another project as well. All right. It's a long one. Verse 1. There's not any annotations on this. I mean, there are, just hardly. I miss the days when I had a smile on my face and wasn't so caught up in all of the small things, wasn't so adamant that I could handle everything alone, and wasn't so cautious and always exhausted, and actually listened to things that my heart said. Riding my bike, just riding my bike. Not overthinking my life, not always wondering if I'm a likable person or someone that nobody likes. I'm curious, because obviously we know NF comes from a broken home and an abusive past. But I wonder, I guess even in the middle of all of that, there was still this like childlikeness, and that's the beauty of a childlike nature. It's the beauty and the tragedy, right? That some of that stuff doesn't hit you until you're older and you realize how messed up the environment is or was that you grew up in. And the resilience of children is there is still this ability in the midst of those things to carry that childlike heart. And so obviously it seems like he's really talking about like way back, before kind of the trauma of his past really started catching up to him. Or someone that nobody likes, whether I'm somebody that nobody likes. Not always stressed about money or losing my job or scared I ain't making a flight. Not always going to bed every night with this knot in my stomach that never unwinds. What happened to me? Yeah, what happened to me? When did I start to believe I wasn't worth it? Then question my purpose to breathe, wondering who I should be, happiness out of my reach, scared to get back on my feet. Need to get rid of what's detrimental, but it's hard to let go when the things that hurt you help you get your dreams, which this is a theme NF has visited several times in his music about how it was the anger, the fear, the difficulties that he went through that really birthed, I think, not only this fire, but also the content in which he could share about, and this fear of like, how do I let these things go that have been my friends for so long, and they're lies, but have ultimately whispered like, you're better off with us. What are you going to do without us, Nate? And I think some of this ties into his kind of probably his OCD nature as well, just this constant anxiety, constant worry. And again, you guys have helped illuminate for me, even in the idea of the song about hating himself, he may not necessarily have any specific reason. Now, we all have pressures in life. We all have deadlines. We all have our own stresses and things that we, try not to worry about. But in the case of some of the things that he's going through, and maybe some of the things you might go through, whether in depression or anxiety or OCD, it's like there may not, from the outside looking in, there's not really a reason to feel that way. It's not that something has happened And that's the haunting nature of it, is it just is. Because some of us feel stressed because there is a reason to feel stressed. You're running out of time. There's a deadline. You made a mistake. You're wondering, how's that going to resolve? Are they going to talk to me again? Whatever it might be. But when you're talking about some of these things that are so deep and ingrained from the outside, it's like there's not really a reason to be stressed or to be fearful or to hate yourself or whatever it might be. It just is. And that becomes where it's very difficult, because you're like, how do I even let go? Because there's not really even a reason for me to feel this way in the first place. See, I miss the days when I wasn't so faded. Love wasn't always invasive. I could embrace it. Oh my gosh, the idea of like letting somebody in when he would embrace it, but now letting someone in to him can feel invasive. Just innocent waiting, not always living in anguish. When did I break and become overtaken? What was the moment I caved and gave away all of my faith and made a replacement? I miss the days when. I miss the smiles we had when we were young. I miss the memories of feeling love. I miss us running underneath the sun, staring out the window when the rain would come. I miss the smiles we had when we were kids. I feel like life was so much simpler then, when we had joy and we were innocent. I'd give it all to feel that way again. Oh my goodness, man. I wish I could turn back time to the good old days. Verse 2. Give me my mind back, the one that told me I was worth something when I fall flat. We talked about that a good bit in the React, so I won't really rehash it here. The one that told me I was worth something when I'm off track, back when my imagination wasn't in a cage and it was free to run fast. Yeah, give me my mind back. Before it was hijacked and wasn't described as a place of limitation, always indicating I can't handle everything from my past. Man. So a time where he didn't feel like he had these limitations, or even the limitation of the idea that he's saying, like, that now his mind is indicating to him you can't handle the things from your past. So even the idea of like a hope that I can deal with these, I can resolve these, I can find some peace, I can find a way forward, that his mind now is a place of totally of limitation. You'll never escape this. You'll always be this way. No one will ever hand it anything it dissects till I'm depressed. I know I'm blessed, but I'm cursed too. Take me back when I was happy, but I wasn't acting. Oh, man. Vulnerable, but didn't see it like some kind of weakness or a thing that's unattractive. Had emotion, but I learned to mask it. Didn't know what I was running after. Didn't know the older I would grow, the more I'd lose control and take in all the baggage. Yeah, man, that's so sad. Because I think the hope that all of us have is that as we grow older, we get better, right? And I think that's probably where a lot of NF's feelings are stemming from, especially as he talked about in an earlier song, that he had that moment that was like, I made it. And it was the most depressing moment of his life. Like, what do you do with that? That is a hard thing to reconcile in your mind when you think. It's almost like you're climbing a mountain and you think, when I get to the top of this mountain, that's going to be it. And then you get there and you go, is this it? Is this all? Like everything you just put in, everything that you just did, and yet you feel like, well, that wasn't worth it, would be really hard to deal with. And so, the idea being the thought that as you grow older, you're going to get better, probably especially as he was younger and like first started dealing with some of these things, to think like, all right, I'm going to make progress. I'm going to get stronger. And then to be in a place and feel like, wait, why is this only getting harder and worse? I can imagine be very, very hard to deal with. It's really sad when everything you thought was stable crashes. Everything you thought would take the sadness really only made it deeper. Got me off the deep end asking. And I think it's connected to the idea that I just shared. Will we ever feel like we imagine? Will we ever feel like we adapted? Will we ever feel like we did back then? Just take me back. All right, the repeating chorus, bridge, chorus, and then the post-chorus. Everything repeats. Man, beautiful song. Every song on this album, absolutely incredible. Let me know your thoughts if there's anything you saw differently or want to have a conversation. I'm here for it. Thanks for being with me for this one. I hope to see you in the next one because we're eating good.